So I've been really itching to take the FD out for a test drive, but I haven't been able to get all the paperwork necessary in order to get plates and all the other stuff and get it titled. So while I'm doing that, I want to just double check the fuel tank to make sure that the fuel isn't like super old and there's not a bunch of debris in there. So I'm gonna pull the cover off of the fuel tank from the rear hatch and take a look at things and make sure everything's okay.
Seriously, I just had it.
Here we are on the back of the car. I want to remove the privacy cover here just to make things a little bit easier while I'm in the back. And I'm also going to move this really awesome subwoofer out of the way as well, so that whenever I lift this, I just have a little bit more working room. Another reason I want to take a peek down in through here is I want to see if it has a fuel pump upgrade done to it or not. I can see that clearly it hasn't been rewired to 12 volts, so it's running off the stock wiring as well. So I'm assuming that this is still a stock fuel pump. After removing the cover and the wire harness here and this ground, things look really, really clean in through here. So I'm very happy with the way things look, and I'm assuming that everything's going to be really clean looking and the tank's going to be nice and clean as well. Now we're just going to disconnect these fuel lines and take out the screws that hold the fuel pump in, and then we're going to pull the pump. We have the fuel pump out. It looks very clean. It's a Denso unit. It looks stock. It looks unmolested. I have a feeling that this is the stock fuel pump, which is pretty cool. We're going to take a look inside the tank and see what the fuel looks like and see if we have any particulates and dust and grime down in there. Looking down inside the tank, there's just the tiniest bit of particulate down in through there, which will get picked up by the screen and the fuel filter. The gas looks really clear and clean, and there's only about 1.5 inches of fuel in the tank, so there's not much in there to begin with. So I'm going to put this thing back together and throw some fresh fuel that's pre-mixed in and run this stuff out and cycle it out because it looks good. I'd like to just take a moment and thank the Mazda engineers for making this so accessible and so easy, and making the fuel pump accessible from the back hatch, making what otherwise would have been like a 2-hour job draining the tank and just a complete nightmare into a 10-minute job. So thank you very much, whoever you are, wherever you are loved.
Hungry fella? There you go.
I'm gonna feel so much better getting some fresh fuel in this thing. The fuel that was in it is at least 3 months old, and it was well below 1/8 of a tank. It was on E whenever I picked it up. So getting some fresh fuel to this thing is not gonna hurt anything, especially being pre-mixed. So that's how you pull out the fuel pump and inspect the tank. If you're buying a roller or you have a project car, something that's been sitting around for quite some time, or you're just doing a rebuild on a rotary motor and you're freshening up seals and stuff like that, you always want to pull the fuel pump out and just double check the tank and make sure there's not a lot of debris or just really old fuel in there. And if there is, just drain the tank and throw some fresh stuff to it, because the last thing you want to do is put a bunch of dirty, old, nasty fuel in through your fuel system, clog up your injectors, and mess up your brand new build. So with that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.